I know I said in the Christmas lights video that was going to be it till January, but this is just a quick-ish battery comparison. Because my next real project is going to be a replacement sideboard for our hallway, which currently looks like this, i.e. a flipping mess with shoes everywhere. It drives me nuts. So I want to make something with drawers, but also some shoe storage as well. And I was inspired to tackle that by a video that Harry from Thorn Design Co. posted of their sideboard, which looked amazing. It's a brilliant video. I'll link to it in the description. And here's a sneaky peek of what it might look like. We've got some shoe storage at the bottom, some drawers at the upper bit. I want to make that top out of hardwood, ideally walnut, but I think it's going to be prohibitively expensive. And then because it's my first face frame thing, obviously I'm going to have to contend with padding out the drawers so that they sit within the face frames. But that's for the new year because it's going to be painted, and painting stuff's always a time sink, so it's going to take me a while to do that. Today though, let's talk about this. When I decided to go cordless for my track saw, even though all my 18-volt batteries are yellow, for a lot of reasons the DeWalt track saw just didn't appeal to me. And I really liked everything I'd seen about this one. Plus, who doesn't want to be a tart with red rails? To be honest, I can't believe that other companies haven't done anodized rails in their company colours. But when I bought it, I wasn't sure if it would work with these adapters with DeWalt batteries. I couldn't really find much about it online in terms of videos of people doing it. So I took a punt and I was really happy to see that it did. So I made a little video just in case it helps anyone else out there, just saying, yep, you can use it with battery adapters and DeWalt batteries. And I've been happily breaking down 18mm sheet goods ever since. But when I made the end-grain chopping board earlier in the year for my brother, I did notice it was bogging down in the hardwood. So I went back and I watched some of the videos from before I bought this of people reviewing it. And I noticed people were able to rip chunky hardwood with no problems using official Milwaukee batteries. So I wondered if it was because I was using these adapters, maybe because it's the older DeWalt batteries. I do have some of these PowerStack ones and I tried that. Unfortunately, DeWalt have fixed it so that you can't use adapters with the newer batteries anymore, which is a bit of a shame. I'll just demonstrate that. Oh, you're joking. What? That never used to work. Huh. That never used to work before. I specifically did a video on this where I tried this battery in this adapter with this saw and it wouldn't work. And now, as I film this, it's just started working. Ah, okay, there you go. That's more like what it's doing. All right, so let's maybe say they don't work reliably with adapters anymore. And to be honest, that's the first time I've ever got it to work at all with an adapter. So I'm still going to say they don't really work with adapters. Now, I love Milwaukee's 12-volt platform, but I didn't have any M18 batteries. And I did put a cheeky request on the Woodworking UK Facebook group to see if anybody local to me would let me use a battery and just sort of see if it made a difference. But I didn't get any takers, which is fair enough. So I decided to just spend some money and sort of do this experiment. So I got this 5.5 amp hour high output battery. Now the high output line isn't the most powerful line Milwaukee have. They have the Forge ones, and the 8 amp hour and above Forge ones are tabless, which is fairly new technology meant to deliver even higher output than the high output ones. However, this high output battery and this rapid charger were £105.98 delivered in December 2025. The 8 amp hour Forge battery on its own without a charger was 185 quid. So over 200 quid by the time you add in a charger. Remember, this is my first ever M18 battery. This is my first ever and only M18 tool. So that was a bit more than I wanted to spend on this experiment. But if it goes well, maybe that Forge battery is something to add to my shopping list in future. There is a 6 amp hour Forge battery. However, apparently that uses pouch cell technology, which is very similar to these PowerStack batteries. It's only the 8 amp hour Forge and the 12 amp hour Forge that use the tabless technology. And from what I can see on YouTube, that does deliver a good bit more power under high stress kind of loads. All right, you're up to speed. So let's do a test. I've got this piece of oak, which is an offcut from our kitchen worktop that I tested various finishes off. It's about 50 mils thick, just under. What I'm going to do is I'll first cut it with the adapters using a normal DeWalt battery. Then I'll cut it with the 5.5 amp hour high output Milwaukee M18 battery. If I can get it to work for long enough in the adapters, I will try it with a PowerStack as well, but this is very unreliable in the adapters. Obviously, you're not going to be able to feel what it's like to push the saw through the cut. So I think perhaps for the video, the audio, the sound that the saw's making is probably going to be the most telling thing. So I'll do this all in real time. I won't speed it up, and I'll cut between the two batteries, or maybe 3 if I can get the other one working, just to show you what it sounds like. Just so there's a reference, I'll just do a video with the saw spinning freely under no load so you can hear what the blade sounds like when it's at full speed. It's also got an adjustable speed, so I'll lower it and put it up and you can see what it sounds like. Oh, and of course the batteries are all fully charged. So here's the saw spinning freely with no load on it. And here's how it sounds varying the speed dial up and down. I'm deliberately not using a dust extractor so that the noise of the saw is clear on the video, and I will now shut up so that you can hear the saw doing the cuts. So there we go, 30 seconds versus 8 seconds, and I can tell you now it felt so much better pushing the M18 battery. The DeWalt just felt like it wanted to stall all the time. I did have a go with the PowerStack, but I couldn't really get it to work. It kept juddering. So I just gave up on it in the end. I did have another go with the M18 just because it was such a pleasure to push through the cut, so here it is. Beautiful. Well, there you go. It was significantly easier with that battery. I don't like bandying about cliches like night and day and stuff, but much easier going through hardwood. You saw that the normal DeWalt battery and the adapter was bogging down. As I say, I've been cutting 18mm sheet goods with the DeWalt battery, normal battery and the adapter, no problem at all. Been really happy. Really enjoyed having this saw doing that. But having this does give a significant amount more power, so if I'm cutting thicker stuff, definitely I'll be using that. I'm not sure I'm going to need a forged battery. I mean, that cut through the 50mm oak fine. I don't think the forged battery is going to be necessary. It seems like a pretty expensive thing. You probably saw as well I couldn't get the PowerStack batteries to work. I mean, not reliably anyway. I think it's something to do with the amount of current they're trying to draw. I think the circuitry in there that stops them working properly with adapters kicks in if it's trying to draw more than a small amount of the current, maybe. I'm not sure. But yeah, you couldn't say that these will work reliably, and even if I got it to work, it might not still cut through with the same power as this. So really happy with that. Slightly less happy with how these bits of oak came apart like that. It's making me worry about the glue bonds in my kitchen worktop, but that's a problem for another day. So yeah, this probably really will be the last video of 2025 now. Next project is going to be that sideboard for the hallway, so it's going to take me a while, but I will see you in the next video. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye bye.